Well, boosting in the air is actually really good. Where's me? There's me. Hey Johns, how you doing? Welcome back. It is here! The Crew Motorfest has released. Fun thing, it happened a lot faster than I thought. I feel like we just played the closed beta and we already have the full game here. Soundtrack from Blue Stali. It seems like they finally remembered that, you know, it's a good idea to hire actual good musicians for racing games. Looking for the camera change button. That's not it. Maybe it's not enabled yet. Ah, there it is. This time I maxed everything out, including the motion blur, giving myself the ultra experience. It's actually pretty good looking. We'll have to turn off that racing line, that's unnecessary. And the Super drifts by itself, you don't even need to pull the handbrake. Yeah, limited to 60 FPS, there's a 30 and a 60 FPS option in the graphics. I'm actually really surprised it didn't update the speedo. I actually feel like the interface needed, you know, some more interesting looking dials. I genuinely think that they didn't change too much coming from the closed beta. I think for the closed beta they were primarily testing multiplayer game code to see if it works and find that OBS issue that everyone was having. I think the reason why it's locked to 60 FPS is fairly simple. They were using the engine from the Crew 2 and that one was locked at 60, so I think that's just a limitation of the engine they were using. But they did crank up the graphics, so I really think they should have updated the dial. I think the speedo looks too basic for me. I actually don't have NOS in these cars. I forgot. I wonder what the game does when you ignore the checkpoint. I would love to see the animation from a different camera angle just to see what the crew is actually doing. Because it actually does not look like a tire change whatsoever. You know what it looks like? It looks one of those test pit stops, right? Where they're just practicing the movement without actually changing the tires. You could have improved the upgrading system. Yeah, I think the biggest critique I would give Motorfest is that it probably copied a few elements too many from the Crew 2. But it doesn't change the fact that I actually quite like it. See, at least the classic cars get a proper looking dial. I really hope we're gonna get an update. I want some nicer dials for the average car. But like this is a proper looking dial. Right, that speedo is fine. I actually think this car has ABS off by default. The way it was just braking, that makes sense for an old car. The beta progress will not carry over. You will have to play it again in my life. Wait. Bro, I thought I can read some information about the car.
American muscle. 911 Legacy.
Dude.
Made in Japan. Race over asphalt with this
Mistakes have been made. That is new. Ataru. Dude, his microphone is terrible. He reminds me of the guy of Need for Speed 2015. Nakai-san. Another BMW. I mean, this body kit really reminds me of Need for Speed customization though. But I guess they both use modern body kits, so I guess that makes sense. That's not that same playlist that we had in the beta. There's a new one. Wow, there's actually a lot of events. Hawaii looks smaller. I think it is. But at the same time, I honestly don't even think that's a problem. Because if you just make something big for the size reason, it's not even that good. Traction control. What I noticed in the beta is that you were actually a lot faster with traction control, because it stopped your car from wheel spinning that you couldn't do yourself. Well, I have all this stuff other than ABS. And just remember, without ABS, you're just gonna lock up your brakes and have terrible cornering. And subscribers gonna have 5 times. Whoa, chance of winning. Didn't even see there was a gap in there. Let's test out the rewind function. Ah, there it goes. I guess you could jump to the other side if you're a daredevil. If you want to write any commands. Ooh, that's the car we can win. Ah, I don't like drifting. Immediately too much. I went with the second highest difficulty and I'm kind of destroying them. 8 seconds ahead. Feels good though. Handling feels good, and that's the number one thing about any racing game ever for me. Like, I need to have feeling for the cars. The cars have to feel like cars. I want to be in control, and I am. Cars have to feel like cars, right? That's a big ask of any racing game ever. Do I prefer arcade or sim style? I prefer simcade, so kind of like straight down the middle. I don't need super realism where you need a wheel to drive well. You know what I mean? I like it in between. I don't need super arcade racing settings. You know, I want the cars to be realistic without being unnecessarily hard or completely unrealistic, right? Let's see, can we cut here? Let's see where we land. Nope. It does remind me of TDU though. Like the housing that was available in TDU was kind of similar. I do think that your start is massively slower without traction control. Like the moment you have a somewhat powerful car, I think you want some sport ECS TC. This checkpot sound whenever you hit a car. I understand you want a unique look for your game, but this speedo looks terrible. This is what I mean with the highest difficulty. Like they are boosting on the straights like crazy. I mean, top 3 is actually enough. I'm not sure, does the game keep count if you got first, second or third? So the servers opened up I think at 10 AM today, so there should be quite a population going on already. I wonder if they should have done another drop with Twitch again. I'm not sure how much they have to pay Twitch to create a drop on the website, but imagine there would be another drop promotion where you would get some, I don't know, in-game currency or some vanity items. Wouldn't be a bad idea, right? Man, those are some strong headlights. I gotta say, when an R34 costs as much as an R35, I feel like I really don't want an R34 anymore. Whoa! He's done. Another one bites the dust. But that was really close to miss the checkpoint. I mean, traction control is not gonna do a lot for all-wheel drive cars, but it's probably gonna be good overall. There's many situations where I really feel like I missed the checkpoint. They might be a bit more lenient about the checkpoints themselves. Maybe you can cut a bit more than it shows. Yeah, Bozozoku is usually more crazy than this. But this is just regular customization. I remember this ugly ass car in Unbound. That was Bozozoku because I really hated it. See, that's what I mean. Like, that was way on the inside. That was a massive cut in the checkpoint. So they're really not that strict. I wonder if there's gonna be a few checkpoints that are stricter than others. Let's see what a wall ride does in this game. Oh, it's not good. Also, that R34 is insanely fast. That's why I usually don't play on the highest difficulty, because I feel like in many situations it's not balanced. It is always finished in the top 3, so it should be fine. Imagine paying $3,500 for sunglasses. Yeah. All we know is called the Stig. Hey, they even got some Red Bull here. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, I didn't expect I can just jump down there. Feels good to have a new game in my hands, man. It feels really good. Boom. Well, the hard difficulty has been quite fun. Let's keep it that way. I feel like this car has an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Like a luxury sedan or a muscle car. Weird car. So is the original soundtrack from this game Old Blue Stali? Like, did he do the entire score? Because I'm a big fan of him. Some are by Dirty 2 Club and the rest is Blue Stali. I think they also worked together, didn't they? Yeah, definitely something I wanted probably since the first Crew game. like actually build your own crew, you know, kind of like a guild, and then, you know, have some crew races. Crew versus crew, I think that would generally be something super fun to do. Get some nice competition going. Yeah, they should definitely double down on their name. It's called the Crew. Let us make a crew. Especially there could be some pretty substantial crews going on. Imagine like every YouTuber starting his own crew. And streamer, of course. There would be some fun battles going on. This is a weird car. I'm not gonna lie.
There is a first time for everything, driver.
Driver. Really? Can I pick my nickname? I don't want to be called Driver. Driver Motorfest. We wanted a new driver game, that is. Someone pointed out that they beefed up the NOS animation, and it does look a lot better. Oh, I remember having a race here. Oh god, you remember? Remember that race where people were basically trying to get on the side just so that they can accelerate a little bit faster? Then they go back into the water to grab the checkpoint and do it all over again. That was a fantastic race. You know, I liked it because it actually ended up being quite interesting. You know, usually game design doesn't allow for such strategies in races. They're usually differently designed. It was actually quite fun. Silly, but fun. We're talking about a Super Mini. But can I beat the Super Golf? The Golf was better, man. I knew it. In comparison to the Crew 2, I'd say the handling is more realistic. Definitely better. I am preferring this. It also has been like the general consensus. Like I have a bunch of people, I heard them saying the same thing. So it's not just my impression. Okay, one thing I'll say about the handling though, I feel like at lower speeds the car should be a little bit more grippy. Like one thing that I noticed that although I've already slowed down substantially, the car is not gaining more grip. Right, which you should. You should be experiencing less forces, less G-forces, so the car should have an easier time turning, but it doesn't feel like it. But yeah, they just kept it as it was in the closed beta. But honestly, when I played the closed beta, it already felt like a finished game. So I'm not too surprised we didn't see too many changes coming from the beta other than fixes. So same issue that I had in the closed beta. I feel like all the cars have a little bit too much understeer. I'll play around with the tuning settings later and see if it can be fixed. This finally came out. Honestly, I expected it much later. Like in my opinion, this released a lot earlier than I thought. Yeah, I mean, I have a 1440p monitor, so I'm not gonna DLSS to 4K. You know, basically to fake a 4K resolution on a non-4K monitor. You know what I mean? Like, just running it native has always brought the best quality for me. The 60 FPS does sting a little, but I do think that's a limitation that they cannot turn off. Remind you of Payback. Yeah, the upgrading system is still not the best. It looks normal on the inside. No, what are these neons, man? Especially it has a livery that, you know, manufacturers usually put on cars so you can't tell the shape of the car during testing. Oh boy, do I hate these neons. How do you transfer your cars? There is there's a setting in the settings somewhere. If you go through all the menus, you will find it. There's always settings in the settings. Yeah, but I didn't know like the menu that actually lets you do that. But I know there's a setting in the settings menu. Honestly, I do like the graphics. They definitely improved the lighting a lot over the Crew 2. I feel like the game gives you a little bit of a penalty for wall bumping like this. I will say though, you are gonna have to work if you want to beat the hard difficulty. There's so many flares everywhere that I think it's checkpoints. Remember in Horizon that some of the flares usually mark the checkpoints? Hey, we lost our first race. Let's see what the game says. Hey, we did make a cool turnaround at the end of the race. I mean, not gonna lie, this feels a bit rubber bandy. See what I mean? That does not seem fair. It feels like if you play on the hardest difficulty, they're just gonna have a higher value for rubber banding. Like the acceleration is uncompetable in some situations. There's just no way your car is gonna keep up. See what I mean? With rubber band. That one. What's this? Civic Type R Fitted Edition. Fit for what? That one too? Yeah, what's up with... Yeah, I gotta say the Civic has a bit too many colors for me. Can't remove the neons. Yeah, I don't think I like this livery though.
Do you think we can take it a step further?
Might as well go all out. Don't force steps to make deliveries. I mean, they hire artists for music. Maybe they should hire artists for cars as well. Noticeable differences to the beta. I think it's just bug fixes. Whatever people were reporting in the closed beta was fixed. Horizon dialogue. I mean, one thing that does not surprise me is if they take inspiration from Horizon that sold so many copies. And it's also on their subscription service. You know, like as a company, you always have to think like, what do companies think like? Emulating successful strategies from other competitors is always an easy strategy to do. Thought process is pretty simple. You know, if people liked it in that game, they're probably gonna like it in this game too. Especially if you don't really have any competition with this game this year. Test Drive Unlimited is delayed until next year, and Forza Motorsport is a completely different type of game. It's gonna talk to a different audience. Dude, how are we getting so destroyed here? I do think I have, for this event, I think I have to go down a difficulty level. This is too strong. Sense of speed. I would say judge yourself. I think there could be a bit more camera shake when you're driving at super high speeds. Generally, I think it would be a good idea to just have a dial, so you can just choose it yourself. I find it so interesting how someone can be AFK after like 2 minutes. Right? Like, imagine someone entering giveaway and then immediately throwing their phone out of the window. I can look at it and they just throw it away. My opinion about the game so far. So, as every new game, I usually like it, right? When a game is new, I will like it simply because it's new and I got something new and fun to do. The real strength of a game shows after you beat the single player, in my opinion. In my opinion, a single player should prepare you for an even more fun multiplayer. But that is where a lot of games fall flat. You go into multiplayer and all of a sudden, like, the excitement is gone. But I will say that in a closed beta, I really enjoyed the 28 people multiplayer races. And I will definitely spend a lot of time in those again, because they are genuinely fun. It's like one big race in like 3 stages where you pick a car each and you basically transform in between the 3 parts of the event. Map bigger than Horizon 5? I don't know. It feels more interesting though. I didn't like Horizon 5's map. Horizon 4's map was a lot better. It was smaller, but it was better. I have to agree though that the map size doesn't matter that much, more than the map quality is what actually matters. Like, do you enjoy driving on the map? That is so much more important. And I think Horizon 5 was one of those kind of mediocre maps that was just large. Nothing really in it that I cared too much about. You know, for me this game feels definitely like a step in the right direction, but one thing we should probably give, you know, some slack for the developers for, we had a worldwide pandemic, right? And they had to somehow manage to get games out, right? So I will be harsher once again, and now that the pandemic is long over and everyone is back to work. Like now the excuses have run their course, you know. You get like a worldwide pandemic once in your life, hopefully. And yeah, from now on, straight talk. I'm not sure how I feel about this color. I kind of like it, but at the same time I'm feeling like a Master Chief here. Halo says hello. It's Mad Monk Green's green. Does putting 1 or 2 tires into the dirt turn you? And it slows you down primarily. It doesn't really pull you out, it just slows you down. I just did the testing. I know what you mean, like in some games it really pulls you to the side, but it just slows you down.
I'm pretty sure Hawaii has never
I really don't know how to feel about these neons. I think the game is in general an 8 out of 10 for me so far. Let's see how it develops. I did keep my entire first playthrough for you guys. Didn't play the game much early other than closed beta. Oh yeah, true, every time you win a car you get this cutscene. I feel like this car is missing a bigger spoiler. I think I would have picked a different spoiler than this one. Like I would pick the highest difficulty if you could actually beat all of the events, but some are just overtuned. Okay, it seems like you have layouts. I don't see a way to use something fully custom, which surprises me. That's usually the best way to go anyways. Just let people remap the controls to their liking. It's in the device manager menu.
Drifting is the best way to take sharp.
I do not understand why traffic is included in these challenges, because that means if you get unlucky with the traffic, you have to do it again. Like I really don't get it. Like that they're not ghosting the traffic here is a mystery to me. Like there should be a test of skill and not a test of how lucky can you get with the traffic. I don't feel like the RNG is necessary here. Like the loss of acceleration when you're experiencing the burnout is quite intense. It's also the reason why traction control is just so much faster online. I gotta say this playlist is visually extremely impressive. At the same time, I don't think I would want the entire game to look like this. Oh, true. This is where we get introduced to drag racing. I guess that's a good thing about keeping the stock controls, then you don't have to worry about having the wrong thing activated. 500. Hey. Wait, where did it put me? That actually spawned me quite far away. I had to see what happens when you try to mess with the physics. The tree definitely won. Side and the rearview mirror is not working. I wonder if that really takes that much performance to render what's happening behind the car as well. Like, either they don't want to deal with the extra work that is necessary for a rear view mirror to work, or it just really takes too much performance. Still funny when you have like an old school game that has like a perfectly rendered rear view mirror, and modern games can keep up. Gotta say, the like falling physics still feel weird. I still am not sure I agree with calling the driver. It seems so unpersonal. I feel like you should be able to pick from a few predefined nicknames at least. I would rather be called my friend than driver. Driver 22 in grid. That was even worse. Or maybe just as bad, I don't know. Maybe I just don't like being called the driver with no context. So this is where people actually put their cars, and you can vote on them if you like them or not. But they did add a few more cutscenes to these openings, right? Dude, how much money does Ford have? But I feel like the Bronco is always featured. Yeah, still stand by that I like the handling, but I think a bit too understeering. And after playing games like Gran Turismo, you know, you get a better understanding how a car should drive, and considering how much I slowed down, the car should have gripped more. Unless I've already used these tires for 50 laps. I mean, I remember that the Crew 2 had a lot more issues for me on launch, so the game's already doing better in that regard. But they probably took more than just one pointer from the previous game. Especially this time around, like they were doing this community building of the game, right? Like at a lot of stages during development, they were giving the game out to a selected group of people to give feedback for the current development, so we could actually, you know, fix stuff before the release. And I think you can really tell that this approach has worked, because people were generally positive about this game before the release, and still during the closed beta, and now for the release too. It's not like somebody has, you know, people have suddenly changed their opinion and be like, it's actually not that good, I don't like it anymore. That hasn't really happened. Oh yeah, I think it was very important to reduce Bowden planes, because nobody really cares about it. The Peace Bus from VW, a bit rised up. Like, what is this wheelbase? Like, how are they so close together? This is basically Hot Wheels car, yeah. Although I think this is gonna have a lot more grip with those fat tires. I gotta say, the fall physics seem extremely unrealistic. Like, the fall speed isn't right, and then when you land, the suspension doesn't really represent what is happening. But it's been like this in Crew 2 as well. The game does look nice. Yeah, I think the lighting has much improved. So even though it's an old game engine, they definitely squeezed some graphics out of this one. No, I would not put the handling into the Forza Horizon territory. It's more arcadey. It's a lot more arcadey than that. I would describe it as a handling between Forza Horizon and the Crew 2. So better than the Crew 2, not as good as Forza Horizon. Didn't have no Mad Monk yet.
Oh, and I almost forgot to include this as well.
Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. I would argue most classic muscle cars look better than the modern ones. Especially old Mustangs, man. They had some style. So the way the playlists work is they give you cars for the events, but they will not shower you with many cars. In Horizon, every 5 minutes you're gonna be rolling for a new car. This is not the case in this game. There's gonna be more gameplay necessary to earn yourself a car. But the cars that you get, you don't really need them immediately. I definitely will say that they're moving forward. This is a better game than the Crew 2. If I wanna simplify it as much as possible, this is a lot better game than Crew 2. Yes, the game has drift events, it has plane and boat events. I also love the idea of optional jumps. We're doing a race here. Yeah, let's take the jump for fun. So I feel like NPCs talking constantly isn't really a negative thing. Especially like super mainstream streams, you will see that the streamer also like talks nearly 24/7. On YouTube videos, like, you know, voice gets cut together in a way where you always have like no breaks in between, you just have constant talking for 10-20 minutes. That's definitely a skill, like talking something all day, every day. Map scaling. I think it's smaller than the Crew 2, significantly. But the map itself is a lot more crowded with stuff, so I like it. Can I donk into the event like this? Probably not. Close enough. Oh, do we get the Honda Civic now? Okay. Let's see when we actually get to use this. Because that's something that I ask myself. How many of those gift cards are we actually gonna use for something? Loop skipped. I'm fairly certain the car is too slow. So, is that a new one? I think it is. But yeah, overall they stepped up their game and definitely better than Crew 2. I mean, I enjoyed the Crew 2 when it released as well, you know, but I can already tell that this is a better game. I'm curious how it's gonna be in the long run. Multiplayer events, community stuff, all the things we can do. I like the new cutscenes. Feel America! Hell yeah, brother! I mean, I like the soundtrack so far, but like I haven't really found any true bangers yet. Dude, how similar was that to my first run? Because I did the nitrous, wow, it was really close. Especially 0.33 means to me it was 1 frame, right? If you divide a second by 60, you get these 33 milliseconds. Exactly. So that's how the timing works in this game. It's such a big tell. We do have air controls, by the way. If you want to mess around with your car in the air for a better landing. I wonder if there's going to be a jump big enough that I can make a full flip. That would be the plan. Nice. I wouldn't be surprised if the content that they put in the Crew 2 is gonna be similar to this game, you know? That is something I could imagine. Like if they have some car DLC, they would just put it into both games. I mean, they have to, right? Because everything from the Crew 2 is gonna be supported in this game. The body kit seems a bit heavily modified. I was wondering if the wheels clean up a little if you drive through the water. I think they did. I think the car did. I gotta say, it feels a bit uncontrollable sometimes. Like once you reach a certain drifting angle, the car kind of locks itself into that angle. It's really hard to recover. Definitely one of those games where I don't immediately hate myself and everyone around me because I have to deal with the handling. Which is always a good sign for a racing game. Funny thing is I heard similar criticism from people in the chat, but also the same optimism. It even has these stone walls of Horizon. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a much better version of Crew 2. You know, to a point where, you know, I wouldn't even take the Crew 2 into my review anymore. Other than, I don't know, saying that it's better than the Crew 2. I mean, they had quite a bit of time. Like when did the Crew 2 release? Was it 2017, 2018? 2018. So they had 5 years since then, which actually feels like quick development if you ask me. Like considering how long it takes some franchises to make another entry, 5 years seems kinda fast. But I think you can definitely tell that in those 5 years they made a better game, which is good. In comparison to Horizon, it's a little bit harder to get your car under control off-road. Honestly, I'm not super convinced from the soundtrack the game has. The original soundtrack, the Blue Stally stuff, that one's better. It's like high energy. These playlists, they do take a good chunk of time to complete. New video again. It's Need for Speed Porsche, but in the Crew. I love Porsche for giving you the same car for like 70 years straight. Not gonna lie, a wooden interior is pretty dope. Well, to be fair, it does feel fresher than Horizon 5. Horizon 5 was just too much a copy of the previous game. So I'm definitely getting that new game feel from this one. I'm still surprised how early it came out, but it's definitely ready. This is not a rushed release, so I'm pretty happy about that. Which means the game is gonna get some exposure before Motorsport. But I have yet to see if Forza Motorsport is really gonna be a game for my taste. It's probably one of my most favorite classic Porsches. A 911 Widowmaker. What good view. I do like it, but I also know that I'm less competitive in it. They look so weird when they don't have the black rear, when they actually have colors. Sounds actually pretty good. But I feel like I heard this car like a million times before in so many games. I don't think it sounds much different than Grid Legends. I like that animation. Can't wait to see it 12 more times.
Playlist is available, driver.
Okay, this one's new. Donut, rule the streets. In a very ugly C8. Like, what's up with this? I don't like that they just painted the front yellow and the rest blue. And then it's yellow again on the back. I have no idea how much of this was from YouTube and how much they made for this game. Yo, that's a fast-ass drone, holy shit. I liked his blow-up character there. Dude, I'm really getting some vibes from Need for Speed World here. We had these neons that were spelling out words. Wait, do we have no crossover? Dude, he's driving on the inside. His path is shorter than mine. Hey, actual bullshit, man. He's at an advantage. Definitely have to drive more than he does. Because it's majority left-hand corners, which means he has less to drive. I wonder if you would drive on the left if you have a Camaro. Wait, does that count? Are we gonna continue like this? Well, I guess we just needed a decision. We didn't need to win. The decision has been made. Oh, that's a loud turbo. Man, that turbo is screaming its heart out. Sorry, Homer. Oops. So close, yet so far.
So how clean can you drive when slowing down isn't an option?
That's actually a pretty fun challenge.
Is it opposite day? Because you clearly got the rules mixed up. This is simple. Each cone that you...
I had to try. How are we supposed to beat the objective? Holy shit. There is no way the objective is gonna do that, right? Like with no mistakes. Ah, maybe he was weight shifting.
Next time.
I didn't think about that.
Oh, to make it easier.
Oh yeah, that actually works. Then it actually it's forced to slow down. I wonder if we're gonna pass automatically or if they're like, yo, you have half a minute of mistakes.
Raptor is out.
What do you mean, do not hit the cones? You did it. You obviously did it. I really don't think you can fail this one. It was one of those finish the event. Thing is, every place has so many events that you're actually gonna be doing quite a bit. Follow the clues. Okay. Find broken submarine. I really wish more cars would have gotten nicer dials. Right? Like, they can clearly do nice looking dials. So my recommendation is for the second highest difficulty, because the highest one is unbalanced in some events. Oh, interesting. Why does it show me parts that I can't put into the car? Sadly, they always have the same posture for the hands. So on a skinny wheel, it looks weird. Oh, there's a hitbox. I love how the plane actually accelerated as it was falling down. That's kind of cool. Like, the plane actually caught wind again as it was falling towards the earth. That was fairly realistic. I appreciate that.
1969 Mustang Boss 429.
I was wondering what the game's gonna do. Didn't spawn the car upside down. I think you can really tell when a car doesn't have traction control. Turn on the vintage speedos. Man, I would take the vintage speedo over the default speedo. Like, even the Nosbar looks better. Interesting. Like, all of a sudden the car gets into a pseudo? There's something about the surface here that pushes the car really hard to the right. Dan, what the hell are you driving? Is that a Porsche body kit? This reminds me of one of the GTA missions, more than anything. Java missions had you use a quad. It feels more like Forza Horizon than the Crew 2 in my opinion. It's definitely going in that direction. That didn't work at all.
Now it's time to go.
Oh, okay, it does remember what he had. Can we flip? I don't think we can. Not enough turning. But it's actually pretty cool. You know what? I want to do this again, but in a different camera. Do you even call it a cockpit when you're sitting in a bike? I will say the game soundtrack is better than Unbound. Definitely comes with more variety too. No helmet view. Let's eat some sunflowers. Dude, I have no idea where I was going. Having a camera exactly at the height of the green stuff doesn't help too much. That thing looks funky. Does the game actually stop me from crashing? It doesn't. Well, I guess it did turn off the assist. See, that is something that I notice very often. When the game forces certain assists, the cars become uncontrollable to save. Can't leave the dealership without the teleport. Alright. I'll do it after the race. See, that's what I mean. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. Like, I never ever want to hit the handbrakes because the moment I do, I can't control the car anymore. But I think that is why I turned on ESP. Because ESP actually allowed you to catch your car. You know, in my opinion, they should probably spend a little bit more time on the tuning settings instead of like giving all the responsibility in the hands of the player. While I generally like the optionality, at the same time I know that most people are never gonna bother to fine-tune the cars, and that means they're gonna be in a substantial slower car, which is bad for multiplayer. But like some people are gonna beat you simply because they have a better tuning on their car. Like I feel like the default handling should be more optimized, and then you can still have some adjustments. You know, just for the sake of competitiveness. It seems like I got a better grip on the handling than a lot of people. I heard quite a few people still complaining about the handling. The thing is, at this point in my life, I've driven some really awful racing games, so maybe I'm just accustomed. Dude, that is terrifying. Imagine driving on the side of a mountain. Oh, dude, I love these mountain trails. You know, I hated hiking as a kid. I absolutely love it as an adult. And if I get to do something like this, it's amazing. The Red Bull events where they're driving on these hikes on these trails is so cool. And extremely terrifying to watch, but also exciting. This might be my favorite event so far. Yeah, that's how it works. Whoa! Perfect physics. Was there a button to do like a trick or like move faster? I feel like he did it by himself. Ah, you hit those. You hit those. Nailed it. I don't think you... Let's see how much speed it will have. Ah, actually I kept my speed. That was nice. I have to buy this, don't I?
Pink.
It's only available in pink. Come on. I hate this color. I mean, I have no idea, but I would feel like speedboating is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. You can only imagine if all of a sudden you turn your thing around and it breaks from 200 to 0 in a second, and you get like 50,000 G's on your body. Haha, it can start like this. Nearly made it. Maybe? Come on, I got so close! Ruined. I gotta say though, I'm not sure they should have brought back planes and boats. You know, I personally like it, but I know most people don't. I'm not sure which of these are actually gonna hold me down. My Days of War Thunder coming back. Nice points. So, dude, I have to fly all the way again. Okay, that's a cool balloon. Incoming! Perfect. Can you land on the balloon with a car? Maybe.
All other things to avoid. Extremes is mandatory here.
Just bop the traffic car. 30th? Look at me, man. I'm the 30th player in the world to do this challenge. Nobody's flying. Oh, we can do this, right?
Nope.
Oh, come on. I needed to be a little bit further on the right in the beginning. There's still some auto steering going on, you know? I want to be like in extreme mode, but even the extreme mode has some auto steering going on, and it's so strange. Give me full control over this fucking plane video game. Like all of a sudden, it just goes too far. I'm gonna go crazy here. The auto steer shit is already off. There's something you can't turn off as well, you know? Get him! Get him!
Your plane?
Yes! Only took me 500 attempts. Don't give them ideas. Dude, if there's one thing that I learned, they never listen to me anyways. After 6.5 years of making content, nobody's listening to me anyways. Bro, if I had too much money, I would just make my own game. If some millionaire wants to finance me making a game, let's talk. Your money and my expertise, we're gonna make a new racing game. We're gonna make our own racing game with blackjack and hookers. Make Blur 2, hell yeah. And if I can make Blur 2, I'm gonna make Most Wanted 2. Looks good. Yeah, I think so too.
You're at NSX GT3.
Hey, it's asphalt. What's up with this jump, man? I gotta say, this one is actually a bit tricky if you would actually try to control your car in a way to never hit a cone. But I think with the default settings that I'm using for usually fast racing, that's, you know, it's not optimal for drifting. You know, it would be a fun attempt to like jump down a level. Actually, how does the game handle falling down? Okay, I had to try. So, can I jump to a lower level? Ah, kinda. Oh man, it's getting over it all over again. So somebody wanted me to test out if loading is faster, if you zoom in more. I mean, to be fair, now that everything is running on SSDs, I don't think it makes a big difference. Hey, some KTM. Probably gonna be available as a bundle. Of course. That rear wheel was bigger than most cars. What? That does not look like bike aware. Oh wow, I just realized we're doing 360. Alright then, reward me. I don't understand why they don't put you there automatically. Seems like an oversight. Single player storyline actually takes quite a while. Big time investments. So you're not gonna have too little to play. What if I drive? What if I fly upward? What if I fly upwards and then switch to car? You drop like a stone. If both these games dropped on the same day, would I prefer it or Horizon 5? Thing is, Horizon 5's multiplayer was really boring. Like, I couldn't stick to it. I'm not sure how it's gonna be with this game, that remains to be seen, and that's what I'm playing it for, right? Well, boosting in the air is actually really good. Okay, I finally did it. I broke the physics. I ruined the auto balancing system. Oh, that was stupid. Alright, I guess we're just gonna finish the event. Oh wait, that's not gonna work, is it? It actually got locked into some weird loop there. Like I couldn't even get out of it. You know, although I disagree with air NOS, usually I think it's actually not bad in this game because then you don't have to worry about getting off the NOS once your car gets airborne. It's still gonna boost your car. Didn't I do that? Oh no. Oh no! And I'm doing it all the time. Oh god. I opened Pandora's box. I was praising the game for not being buggy and now I'm doing it again. Oh boy. Oh wow, I just got slapped, man. Crap. My plane is stuck. Oh boy. This entire event has been a mess. Alright, all we need to... Dude, I just saw something. Those two crashed into another, right? And then both got really messed up. That's what happens. Like, you want to be really careful with not touching other planes. It's gonna wreck you. Dude, I like the speed though. Like, we're doing 300 plus. Do you think this will surpass the Horizon series? No. Forza Horizon, I think, has way too much of a lead to be beaten by a single release from the crew. Oh no. I got super distracted by the cars in front of me. Someone went flying. But this has been so far my favorite game mode of the game so far. Wait, how did that happen? He just pushed me to the wall then somehow squeezed by? What the hell? If you're in the pack, they don't know the shortcut. Dude, I saw all of them ignoring the shortcut from a mile away. Like they were not even trying to aim for it. Bro, what did you do to your car? Oh my god, the golden wheels. That is puke-tastic. That could have gone really badly. Oh no, that water section. Okay, I think this is the thing that we complained about. I remember the Lambos doing well last time as well. Oh my god. Oh no, corner one madness. Actually got out of it not too badly. I gotta go in 50. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh, who did I just stomp, man? Wait, what? Why? That was bullshit. Whoa. I gotta say, races might be a little bit more interesting if you roll them up from the back, because you see like half of the races crashing out. Someone else will answer for me though. Rip. Dude, we're already in P6. I wonder if I actually messed him up or it was just netcode lag of some kind. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. I will play more Crew in the future. Content updates, multiplayer, whatever comes my way. But I had enough for today. GG's. But yeah, I'm out for the night, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Sleep tight. Do come back tomorrow for more. And good night. Bye bye.